About 4 million passengers took to the sky from Phoenix Sky Harbor last year, and all those planes landing and taking off leave behind a carbon footprint. But as Cronkite News reporter Autriya Maneshni explains, some airlines are starting to use sustainable aviation fuel to try and help.
It's no secret people are back to traveling by air during the pandemic.
Before COVID, 2 or 3 times a year, but today is the first trip in over 2 years. So.
And some people have been traveling a lot.
I travel about every 2 months or so.
For some travelers, taking a plane comes down to convenience and speed.
So I live in Florida, and my dad used to live in Virginia, and I had to choose between a 15-hour drive or a 2-hour flight.
But as millions of people fly every year, there's an impact from carbon emissions. The aviation industry accounts for 2.5% of human-made carbon emissions. That's according to Our World in data. Why does this matter? Carbon emissions contribute to climate change, which is causing rising temperatures, sea level increase, droughts, and more. Without any changes, aviation could consume 22% of the world's total carbon budget by 2050. So some airlines are turning to sustainable aviation fuel as a solution.
So when people are talking about sustainable fuel for airplanes, most of the time they're talking about liquid fuels that would be made from some sort of biological source. So a fermentation product could be corn, it could be used waste oil, and the like.
Sustainable aviation fuel is a drop-in fuel. That means it can be shipped and blended with traditional jet fuel.
We're going to recirculate carbon atoms that already exist by having plant life fix carbon atoms into their cellular structure, and then we're going to brew that up into a combustible fuel that can be easily transported and then used to power an airplane.
Airlines such as American, Southwest, JetBlue, United, and KLM, to name a few, have all made a commitment to use sustainable aviation fuel in their fleet. United made history as the first airline to fly a passenger plane on 100% sustainable aviation fuel in December of last year. In Phoenix, Autriya Maneshni, Cronkite News.
The U.S. Department of Energy, Transportation, and Agriculture have launched the Sustainable Aviation Fuel Grand Challenge. Some of their main goals are to make sustainable aviation fuel more cost-effective and widely available to the aviation industry.